All right, folks, we have some major breaking news and a huge update to Donald Trump's meeting with Putin in Alaska. Their meeting concluded after over 3 hours, and then they held a joint press conference where they both spoke a little bit, but took no questions. Not a single question was asked. Now, earlier today on this channel, I covered the beginning, the lead up to the meeting, and how it was already going disastrously for Donald Trump. And it seems like that trend continued. So I'm going to show you all of Donald Trump's remarks right now. They're very short, like around 4 minutes, actually less, I believe. And then we'll talk about it after. And then I want to show you the reaction of some people online, including from Fox News, who gave Donald Trump a pretty bad rating for this press conference with Putin. So take a look here. We'll talk about it after. Let's dive in.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President. That was very profound. And I will say that I believe we had a very productive meeting. There were many, many points that we agreed on. Most of them, I would say, a couple of big ones that we haven't quite gotten there, but we've made some headway. So there's no deal until there's a deal. I will call up NATO in a little while. I will call up the various people that I think are appropriate, and I'll, of course, call up President Zelensky and tell him about today's meeting. It's ultimately up to them. They're going to have to agree with what Marco and Steve and some of the great people from the Trump administration who've come here, Scott and John Radcliffe. Thank you very much. But we have some of our really great leaders. They've been doing a phenomenal job. We also have some tremendous Russian business representatives here. And I think, you know, everybody wants to deal with us. We've become the hottest country anywhere in the world in a very short period of time. And we look forward to that. We look forward to dealing. Wow. We're going to try and get this over with. We really made some great progress today. I've always had a fantastic relationship with President Putin, with Vladimir. We had many tough meetings, good meetings. We were interfered with by the Russia hoax. That made it a little bit tougher to deal with, but he understood it. I think he's probably seen things like that during the course of his career. He's seen it all. But we had to put up with the Russia hoax. He knew it was a hoax, and I knew it was a hoax. But what was done was very criminal. But it made it harder for us to deal as a country in terms of the business and all of the things that we'd like to have dealt with. But we'll have a good chance when this is over. So just to put it very quickly, I'm going to start making a few phone calls and tell them what happened. But we had an extremely productive meeting, and many points were agreed to. There are just a very few that are left. Some are not that significant. One is probably the most significant, but we have a very good chance of getting there. We didn't get there, but we have a very good chance of getting there. I would like to thank President Putin and his entire team, whose faces, who I know in many cases, other than that, whose faces I get to see all the time in the newspapers. You're almost as famous as the boss, but especially this one right over here. But we had some good meetings over the years, right? Good, productive meetings over the years, and we hope to have that in the future. But let's do the most productive one right now. We're going to stop really 5, 6, 7,000, thousands of people a week from being killed, and President Putin wants to see that as much as I do. So, again, Mr. President, I'd like to thank you very much, and we'll speak to you very soon and probably see you again very soon. Thank you very much, Vladimir.
Next time in Moscow.
Oh, that's an interesting one. I don't know. I'll get a little heat on that one, but I could see it possibly happening. Thank you very much, Vladimir. And thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And another handshake. And another handshake. And then they walked out and took no questions. Then they walked out. It ended. They took no questions, but they had another handshake. What a disaster response from Donald Trump. So many issues in what he just said, such as there are Russian businessmen who want to do business with the United States. Donald Trump seems interested in that. That seems incredibly strange to me. The fact that we're talking about ending a war and Donald Trump, one of the first things he brings up is Russian business investment in the United States. Then he went on to liken the Russia investigation into credible allegations that members of his campaign were working with Russia in 2016. He likened that to something that Putin faced in Russia. I mean, what is this guy talking about? And of course, the major point in this whole tirade that Donald Trump just went on is that there is no deal. There's no deal. No deal. Donald Trump told all of us before the election, 24 hours. In 24 hours, I will end the Russia-Ukraine war. That's what he said. He said he's the master negotiator. He's great at foreign policy. Nobody can do it like him. Fast forward to what feels like day a million of the Donald Trump presidency, at least the second term, and there is no solution, not even close to one. Donald Trump says there are minor points that need ironing out, that they're close to agreement on. That means they're not close at all, to translate for folks at home. They're not close to a deal. There is nothing here. If they were close to a deal, even just a little bit further than they are right now, they would have taken questions. And Donald Trump ran away from the press, tried to hold Vladimir Putin's hand on the way out. A disgrace, an embarrassment to the United States, especially because Donald Trump left the door open for a possible meeting in Moscow. Moscow, an American president. Can you believe it? I can if it's Donald Trump. Now, as I mentioned, I want to show you the reaction of people online. Let's start with Fox News' Jackie Heinrich. She's a reporter who's the senior White House correspondent for Fox News, and she did not hold back on Donald Trump, describing him as getting steamrolled by Putin. Take a look at that clip.
It was just very unusual, atypical, and I think we're all awaiting, the readout, because the way that it felt in the room was not good. It did not seem like things went well, and it seemed like Putin came in and steamrolled, got right into what he wanted to say, and got his photo next to the president and then left.
Wow. Look, if Fox News is describing Donald Trump as getting steamrolled, it went badly. This just did not go to plan for Donald Trump when even Fox News, a reporter who's actually on the ground there in Alaska, who witnessed this press conference, can we even call it that? This press conference live, is saying that Putin steamrolled Donald Trump. This is an arm. We all know that Fox News is practically an arm of the Trump administration. And even them are criticizing him. Let's go to another reaction. Midas Touch said, breaking, Trump opts for no questions after admitting no deal was made during the Putin meeting. A defeated Trump leaves the room quickly. Putin suggests Moscow for future meetings. Developing, showing a picture of Donald Trump walking out. A disaster is right. A defeated Trump is right. That guy, he does not look good. How about this one from Chris D. Jackson? Said, Trump got nothing from today. Putin got legitimacy. Freaking pathetic. And I couldn't agree more. We, the United States, got absolutely nothing. We got nothing. Donald Trump got played. That's what we got. The president of the United States got played, whereas Putin walks away with more legitimacy because now he has a photo with the president of the United States in the United States, and he can take it home and say, I steamrolled the president. Here's another one from Jim Acosta. That was not a press conference. That was a debacle, and I couldn't agree more. I also want to show you one from that we talked about earlier on a stream I did covering the press conference, the response from Governor Gavin Newsom, his press office account, which I thought was fantastic. We'll read it now and then wrap up, saying, quote, Trump just fled the podium with Putin. No questions, nothing. Total low energy. The man looked like he'd just eaten 3 buckets of KFC with Vlad. Is he afraid the press will ask about me, America's favorite governor, and the fact I stole the cameras this week with the new maps? Many people are saying he begged Putin to hold his hands tiny on the way out. Admitted, Donnie J, you're terrified because this was the worst week of your life because of me, Gavin C. Newsom. The maps will end your presidency, retake Congress for the people, and expose your rigged little game. My perfect maps are more beautiful than anything in Trump Tower, which many says smell weird. At Stephen Chung, who's one of Trump's senior advisors, explain this disaster. Enjoy your flight home, Donald. You are Putin's problem now. I'm America's solution. Love that line at the end there, that you're Putin's problem, I'm America's solution, hinting at 2028, it seems, but a fantastic and a very funny response from Gavin Newsom to Trump's disaster meeting, and it really was a disaster meeting. So, man, So much insanity today. I will leave the video there. Please let me know in the comments what you think about this presser. Again, I don't know what to call it, presser, this play date maybe, if you want to be more accurate, that they had. Let me know what you think about it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video as well. It means the world to me, and thank you so much to everybody who's joining us here. It really goes such a long way, but I'll leave it there. We'll talk soon.